Canadians love to comment on American gun control issues, I believe, without fully understanding them. And so the story out of the United States of the University of Texas allowing students to carry firearms into class on campus has been ridiculed. Now, it's been ridiculed by Americans as well, including students that showed up with thousands of sex toys at the University of Texas, Austin in protest of the hotly debated concealed carry law that took effect Wednesday on campuses across the Lone Star State. The reasoning behind the sex toy protest, according to organizer and recent alumnus Jessica Jin, was to fight absurdity with absurdity. Under current Texas law, a person can be arrested in some circumstances for the open carry of a sex toy. Okay, well, that's weird, but why are you walking around with one anyway? And it's concealed carry for firearms in the classroom. I was watching CTV News Channel yesterday, and they had somebody on talking about this issue, and the guy said the idea that having more guns around will reduce crime is like saying having more Kardashians will lead to less Kardashian shows. That was the glib response this Canadian commentator gave. So I wanted to turn to my friend John Lott, an actual academic on this issue. He's the author of several books. His seminal work is More Guns, Less Crime. His latest, The War on Guns, Arming Yourself Against Gun Control Lies, was out earlier this month. It's already a bestseller. And, of course, he is with the Crime Prevention Research Center. He joins me now on the phone. John, thanks for the time. Welcome back to the program.
It's great to talk to you again, Brian.
What was behind this push in Texas to say you can have concealed carry in universities?
Well, what the concern is that these mass public shootings keep on occurring in places where people aren't allowed to defend themselves. I have a lot of cases in the war on guns where I quote these killers who have left diaries or other documents indicating that the reason why they picked the particular target that they did was because they knew victims weren't able to defend themselves. I'll just give you one example from Detroit a couple months ago. I didn't have this in the book because it came out right afterwards, but it's similar to the other cases. A father was concerned about his son's involvement with ISIS. Had told the FBI about his concerns. The FBI put a tap on his phone, and they recorded this chilling conversation where the son was planning on attacking one of the largest churches in the Detroit area. He had apparently cased the church, seen that they had very large congregations that showed up every Sunday. But the reason why he had picked this particular church was that this church had banned anybody being able to go and carry permanent concealed handguns on church property.
Now,
this guy had even checked.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. This guy had even checked to see where the nearest police station was to get an idea of how long it would take for somebody with a gun to go there to stop him. And he explicitly talks about, in chilling detail, about how picking this particular place would mean that he could kill lots of people before anybody would show up and be able to stop him.
Canadians don't have a lot of experience with anyone being able to have a concealed carry permit. They're very difficult to get. I believe that former Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau had one. There's the odd judge that has one, but the average Canadian can't get one. But in your country, John, it's not uncommon.
Well, there are about over 14.5 million Americans who have a concealed carry permit.
Yeah.
And, but, Canadians had, concealed carry up until 1976. Basically, Trudeau ended it. But as you say, ironically, he ended it. But then when he left being prime minister, he put in a request to go and get one for himself for his own protection.
And he got one, whereas most of us, even you and I both know the case of Ian Thompson down towards St. Catharines, Ontario. He's been rejected many times. Let me ask you about, and even though his life has been threatened by neighbors, let me ask you about the idea. This mocking tone from the commentator on TV said, the idea that more guns lowers crime. Is there a correlation between regular law-abiding citizens owning guns, the number of guns owned by regular people, and crime? Does it go up as you have more guns?
No, it goes down. And that's true across countries, and it's true within the United States. The states that have had the biggest increases in gun ownership, the states that have had the biggest increases in permanent concealed handguns, have seen the biggest relative drops in violent crime rates. You know, if you look at mass public shootings, people have this image that somehow the United States is unique in terms of them. In the war on guns, if you use the FBI definition of mass public shootings, where 4 or more people are killed in a public place, what you find is that during the first 7 years of the Obama administration, the United States had 25 mass public shootings. The European Union had 25 mass public shootings. The death rate per capita in Europe and the United States was virtually identical, and the injury rate from mass public shootings in the European Union was more than twice that in the United States. France last year, in just 1 year, had 532 casualties from mass public shootings. During the first 7 years of the Obama administration, the total casualties from mass public shootings was 396. So they had more casualties from mass public shootings in France, a country 1/5 the population of the United States, than we had over 7 years in the United States.
Unreal.
And
but you don't hear
Europe,
this.
No, well, I mean, a lot of it doesn't get coverage. I'll give you one simple example. If you look at mass public shootings in K through 12 schools, of the 4 worst ones, 3 of them have occurred in Europe. 2 of them have occurred in Germany. I mean, my guess is most people have no clue that that Europe has had that many bad mass public school shootings.
John,
if you look at
this is why I like talking to you, because you actually bring the facts.
I have all these listed in the war on guns. If you look at mass public shootings around the world, of the 25 worst mass public shootings since 1970, from 1970 through July of this year, only one of those occurred in the United States, and that was just in July this year, the Orlando shooting that occurred.
Most of them are outside of the United States.
All the rest of them are outside the United States.
Unreal. John, I wish I could tell people that they could just drop by their local bookstore in Ottawa and pick up a copy, but unfortunately, I've just checked, you've got to order it online. Despite the fact that it's a #1 bestseller on Amazon, it's not the left-wing type of book that will get front page or front of the store heading at chapters, so it's not there, but you can order it at Amazon.ca. Thanks for the time, John. We'll check in again.
All right. Well, thanks for calling.
John Lott with the Crime Prevention Research Center, author of The War on Guns. That's his latest, and of course, More Guns, Less Crime, refuting some of the insanity that gets